How money changes you. You've probably heard of the expression, money is the root of all evils. And while it does sound like it's too idealistic or even arguably flawed, some people ardently believe it as such. On the other hand, others submit to another commonly heard phrase, that is, the world revolves around money, turning it into a faith that drives them into seeking more and more, and thus growing in greed. Despite all these varied opinions, one fact remains irrefutable, and it is that money is inseparable to anyone who is a human being. Money is necessary for almost everything we do, for virtually all our lifetime. If money is bad, then it is a necessary evil. It is the legal tender that we cannot do without. As such, many people have experienced different circumstances when it comes to money. Some were born poor, and they toiled hard till just to get by, while others were born with a silver spoon. One of the most recognized scholars of the University of Utah, Professor Kristen Smith Crow, opined, "Some factors affect us way more than we're aware of, even if we have good intentions." We all have different feelings and opinions when it comes to money. Possessing money or not possessing it may end up affecting who we are by endowing us with traits such as greed or frugality. And this brings us to our topic. Does money change us? And if so, how? Well, in today's video, we're going to be sharing with you a couple of ways money does change you. 7. Business and social value. Research carried out in the past have investigated on how money influences the way you value time and effort. This was proven in a 2004 study where researchers such as Dan Ariely and James Heyman created an experiment where they attempted to measure how motivated a person can be when the task to be completed was assigned based on money. In this project, the subjects were asked to drag circles randomly across the computer screen. The first group was simply asked to do this as a favor, while the second group was asked to do it with an assurance that 50 cents would be paid, while the last group asked the same, but this time with $5 as the catch. This simple exercise leads to the conclusion that there are two reasons for completing a task. One was the social reason, where on recognizing a task's social worth, people find it worthy of time, and a crucial part of the social duty to be done. However, when money is offered, the social concept is thrown out the window, and it is now thought of more as a business venture. Money is an excellent motivator when it comes to determining the extent of the value to be attached to things. Completing a task for free is said to have a positive effect on a person's thinking, but this is not considered when money is introduced. This can have an impact on your actual living, as if you feel you deserve more money, you may perform way below expectations as a result. 6. Service and self-sufficiency. Money has been known to have specific influence on the self-sufficient nature and the services provided. It is said that those who are conscious about making money tend to be more self-sufficient than others, who are of the line of thought that money is not a priority. According to a psychological study carried out in the Yale School of Management Studies, it was observed that in a situation where two different groups with different outlooks on money are given challenging and impossible tasks, the money-related group was bent on solving these tasks more than the other group with the passive outlook on making money. Even in instances where it was not possible to finish the task alone, they seemed to be more intentional about getting the job done. The study concluded on the fact that money-conscious individuals are more capable than their peers, most notably when money is made as the focus. Furthermore, the research also observed how the conscious money group was less likely to offer help or assist in a task that was not theirs to begin with. The group that was not concerned about money displayed compassion and service in a money-free environment. 5. Money can be addictive. This may look like I'm overstating the facts or saying something that cannot be any further from the truth. I mean, how on earth can money be addictive? But take it or leave it, this is a real thing. According to psychologist Dr. Tian Dayton, the pursuit of wealth in all its entirety without having time for the things that matter can become addictive. You might think this is the same line as substance abuse or addiction. However, it's classed as a behavioral addiction. The compulsive need to acquire money and the power that comes with it is considered as a part of a class of behaviors. The good feeling you get when you make money can become addictive in the long run. This compulsive habit is also linked to the behavioral condition known as shopaholism, which is the constant love for shopping for the latest goods. It is said that in contemporary times, process addictions are increasingly becoming accepted as they involve relationships with behaviors such as eating, sex, gambling, and money. It's known that compulsive behaviors, such as eating and spending money, can result in the release of dopamine, which is commonly known as the feel-good chemicals. So therefore, making and spending money can release dopamine, which can become addictive. 4. More money cannot buy happiness. This statement may sound cliché, but it's the truth you may not want to hear. It's common for people to seek power, money, and success, and all that comes with it. This is expected, but come to think of it, this may be getting in the way of the things that matter the most in life, such as health, love, and happiness. Upon gathering opinions from a lot of people, the uniting view is that there's no direct relationship between the income of individuals and happiness. However, according to a 2010 study based on a Gallup poll of more than 450,000 respondents, suggested that making an income of $75,000 a year may make you more satisfied with your life. Once you can afford health care, a good place to live, nutritious foods, clothing, and so on, more money may not increase your happiness. Aside from the fact that increased income makes no difference, it is common knowledge that extremely wealthy people do suffer from increased rates of depression in their life. Some findings have even further stated that money does not lead to dissatisfaction, but the constant search for it is what creates unrealistic needs and expectations, leading to dissatisfaction. Also, chasing after worldly success on an above-average level is said to lead to a lower relationship satisfaction. To an extent, many Americans are increasingly looking beyond money and success to define the level of happiness one has attained in life. 3. Wealth and substance abuse. While in the real sense of it, money is not known to cause addiction, it has been linked with an increased tendency to dabble into addictive substances. Studies have shown that the children of the wealthy and powerful are more likely to abuse substances. This is mostly linked to the high pressure from their homes to attain the already high standards set by their parents, as well as isolation from their busy parents. These children also have issues with adjusting to societal norms. Studies have also concluded on the fact that students from well-to-do families tend to get higher scores from their tests than the lower-class students. It's also said that children from wealthy homes are more likely to internalize their struggles concerning substance abuse. Even in adulthood, the rich are always known to drink more and more expensively than the poor. 2. Is it a case of more money, less empathy? Studies have always been carried out to help unearth the real reasons behind human behavior. Some of these studies have shown that wealth and having lots of money may be antagonistic to having compassion and empathy. So let us turn to psychology to help explain this point. In the Journal of Psychological Science, it was revealed that people of lower economic status, the middle class, and all who do not have as much money as the wealthy are better at reading the facial expressions of other people, which is an essential indication of having empathy. This should not come as a surprise, as it is only to be expected for the immediate environments of the lower class to be different from that of the higher class. When you belong lower or middle class, you are required to respond to a lot of social threats and vulnerabilities. Perception thus really matters when it comes to this, as one relies heavily most of the time on communication with others to determine whether there is an imminent threat or possible opportunities. As mentioned earlier, having lots of money influences your behavior. However, not being rich allows for higher emotional intelligence. Research has even concluded on the fact that the use of fake money can elicit bad behavior in people, as they would start to behave with lesser regard for others. In a captured scenario where two students were playing the money game Monopoly, it was observed that the player with more money, although acted shy, expressing discomfort at first, he later grew into the game, and he taunted the other player while moving his pieces around. You can imagine what would happen when having more money in the real world, when just a virtual game can elicit this reaction. 1. Does money cloud moral judgment? Over time, psychologists have researched how money changes people. They have attempted, on many occasions, to study the impact, the influence of inequality and wealth on human behavior. There are many things to note about the psychology of wealth and having more money, and it has been concluded that money can influence our thought process in more ways than we can imagine, no matter a person's economic status. In fact, it's not wrong to note that wealth leading to a very high sense of moral entitlement. In a study carried out by UC Berkeley, in select locations in San Francisco, with crosswalks that requires drivers to stop for the pedestrians to walk across, it was concluded that the drivers of luxurious vehicles would more often tend to disobey this simple rule of community orderliness, compared to drivers of less expensive cars. The expensive car drivers were less likely to stop and allow the pedestrians passage, and were also more likely to cut off other drivers, claiming the right of access. Another research carried out also showed that people were more likely to behave irrationally after being exposed to money-related words, pointing to the fact the mere thought of money is more likely to lead to immoral behavior, lending credence to the cloud of moral judgment. So yes, money can sometimes cloud our judgment. Money has changed you at this point. As with normal human thinking, the rags to riches story is the dream of everyone. Either it happens through a very high-paying job, or you win a lottery. Many studies have proven that money affects people psychologically. It might change your behavior, and it might not even be for the better. Money has a way of influencing your thoughts and actions. It does not precisely shape your beliefs, but it will undoubtedly affect the way you act and think towards others. In this way, improving your understanding of how money unconsciously influences your behavior will hopefully lead you to making better decisions and steering away from the negatives of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, enable notifications, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.